Hi everyone, Mike Riley with Gaining Altitude Financial, and I wanted to give you an update on the budget changes for 2024 that affect how people can access money inside their registered retirement savings plan through the first home buyers plan. I was inspired by this quote here from Robert Louis Stevenson talking about how the future is based upon the actions that we take today by planting seeds. And that's what registered retirement savings plans do. They allow you to grow your money for the future in a tax-advantaged way that can be used in retirement. So for a lot of younger people that I work with who are in the early parts of their careers, the RRSP doesn't always make sense from a tax perspective, but it can be advantageous if you're going to use it for the first-time homebuyers plan because it allows you to take some money out of your RSP to use as a deposit without triggering a tax event. Now, in the past, that hasn't been as advantageous, especially in high real estate markets like Victoria, Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, because you could only take out $35,000. The budgetary change now allows you to take $60,000 out, which is a much bigger chunk and has a greater impact on the down payment. Now, of course, you have to save that money or at least grow it inside the RRSP, but that's a different challenge, and there are some other ways that we can do that. But let me take you quickly through the basics. So the RRSP is essentially an empty box in which you have an investment. Now, the government says that you can save up to 18% of your income each year towards the future for your retirement. Some of that is your CPP contribution. Some of it may be pension contributions if you're doing that through your employer. But for most people, there's always some left over that they can have. So if you take $1,000 and you invest it into your RSP, you will get a tax deduction back for the money that you put in. Essentially, the government is saying that money is no longer your money, it's future use money, and because you paid tax on it when you earned it, they're going to give some of that back to you. So if you're in a 30% marginal tax bracket, the money coming back will be $300. I mean, there's some calculations on there because the tax brackets don't work exactly like that, but the math, for rough math, that's how it works. Inside the RSP, the money grows tax sheltered, so whatever you're invested in, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, segregated funds, I wouldn't hold it in cash because you want to be growing it for the future. But whatever those returns are, you don't pay any tax on it, but you do pay tax when you take the money out. So that same $1,000, when you take it out, now hopefully you're in a 20% marginal tax bracket when you take the money out, and you'll have to pay $200 in taxes to get that money back. I really like it if you're saving in a high marginal tax bracket. So that would mean maybe you're in a 50% tax bracket, you put $1,000 in, now your tax refund is going to be $500. Again, take it out in a 20% tax bracket, pay $200, you've saved $300 in taxes. So how does the home buyers plan fit into this? So you've got your money growing inside your RSP, but you're going to buy your first home. In the past, you could take out 35. Now you can take out 60,000. So you can take 60,000 out of the RSP for the first home buyers plan, FHB. You don't pay any tax on it, and you are expected to recontribute that tax that RSP over 15 years. It used to be that you had 1 year of grace before having to pay it back. Now it's going to be 5 years, so you don't have to make your recontributions back for another 5 years. But what does that really mean? It's not a penalty, as many people think. The total amount that you borrowed is broken down into 1/15, so that percentage of each of the years, and the calculation is you have to recontribute that back again. So what's 1/15 of 60,000? Well, that's $4,000. So every year you contribute $4,000 back into your RRSP because you borrowed it from yourself. What is that a month? Well, that's $333.33, and that's a repeating number for those of you that paid attention in high school math. the thing is, if you don't pay back that full amount, you just have to declare the difference as income that year. So let's say you were only able to recontribute $3,000 in a given year. You'd have to declare $1,000 as income for that year and then pay tax on it. So there's no real penalty. You're just expected to pay it back to yourself. Otherwise, you trigger the tax on that. So if you're able to save $60,000, or if you're able to borrow from a family member to put it into your RRSP, hold it for 90 days, get the tax deduction, you can still use it for the down payment. If there's two people buying the house, so you're in a relationship, that's $120,000 of available room from your retirement savings to buy the house. And in addition to that, there's also the First Home Savings Account, which was new in 2023, and it's got $8,000 of contribution each year that you can put there. So there are some tools. It's not perfect. You do have to be in a position to earn money and save money, but that's what the update is for this year. So if you're interested to want to know more, you want to take control over your finances now to create a better future for yourself, please reach out to me, book an appointment. I'm happy to have this discussion one-on-one. And let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover. So that's Mike Riley with Gaining Altitude Financial, helping you gain altitude and gain confidence.